Hello and welcome to the Chatter Cave podcast, where we usually talk random shit and sometimes review stuff. I'm your host, Drinking Thomas Hughes. I have the lovely Hayden, aka Licola, with me, and today we're finishing off the already released movies. But by the time this comes out, it would actually have been released as well. Obviously, continue the Jurassic World / Park franchise with Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, the 2018. Installment, the 5th installment of the JP or JW, whichever way you want to put this franchise, and it's a lot different to the previous movies because feels more like a horror movie than before. The others always felt like this action adventure, whereas this feels more like an action horror, which I'm not going to complain. Me loves me horror films.
You do. Like, obsessively.
I love horror films, so this film is right up my alley, which is probably why I like it more than what most people do, because I'm pretty sure critics and audiences weren't the biggest fan of this, which is the same with Lost World and JP3. They weren't the biggest fan of them, but I enjoyed them. And I enjoy this more, because it feels like a horror film, which it's gonna, because obviously it was directed by, where's my notes? J. Bayona, I don't know how you pronounce that bit. J. Bayona, who did The Orphanage. Which obviously was a horror film, so it makes sense to why it feels like horror. He also did 2 episodes of Penny Dreadful, which is a horror series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you can feel that horror vibe to it with a lot of the shots. I mean, the opening specifically of 2 people underwater in a submarine trying to find obviously the Indominus Rex bone, and then you see the fucking shots of the Mosasaurus in the darkness before it eats them. And then above ground, you see the fucking lightning strikes. Every time the lightning strikes, you see the T-Rex silhouette walking through the forest before chasing after this guy. That whole sequence to open this movie was perfect. It's probably my favourite opening of any Jurassic Park movie. So, I mean, there's not really much to compare it to. The last one didn't really have an opening. It was pretty much straight into it. It was just an egg hatching straight into the movie. Jurassic Park 3 was just obviously them flying around, which, you know...
That's setting up the plot, really.
Lost World was just obviously the girl getting killed, and then the original one was obviously the hunter. I was trying to say that guy going, "Shoot her! Shoot her!" So obviously, there's not much really to like go up against it, apart from maybe that sequence. So I love the fact that this just knocks out the park into the opening, draws you in straight away to okay, I need to stitch through the rest of this movie because that is a really good way of making me want to watch this. And for me, it carries on at that pace.
Definitely.
The Jeff Goldblum random cameo is kind of just because all of it was in the trailer basically. So you can just watch the trailer and go, oh, that's all the Jeff scenes I've seen there. It's basically just like the most unnecessary cameo. This is the way of this being a full-on legacy sequel compared to the last one, but it felt poor in that way.
It makes sense bringing him back. It's more of like story wise because these whole things about the moral dilemma of like, do we let nature take its course and the dinosaurs die, or do we try to save them? Which is what he's all about, chaos theory and how
it makes sense there. But it just in terms of being like a legacy character coming back, it definitely feels like probably one of the worst like instances of a legacy character coming back to a franchise just for him to go like that. It's definitely in the vein of John Connor in Terminator Dark Fate. They brought him back for the opening, killed him straight away. Spoiler alert there for Terminator.
Well, that Channing Tatum one, G.I. Joe one, second one.
Yeah.
Where it just dies straight away.
Not really quite a legacy character.
No.
There's not a massive time gap between the two movies.
Still.
But it's definitely one of those instances of lackluster legacy bring back. Yeah, it's nice to see him. It's nice to show that, yes, this is still part of that franchise. So the characters are still present. But it just felt poor, kind of.
I feel like if he was through the entire film, it made it much more better. Like a bigger cameo than just like a bigger part instead of just a cameo.
See, even if like you just heard the voice, I feel like it would have worked better than just seeing him.
Yeah, because look how hyped up people were for Professor X.
Yeah.
In Doctor Strange. They were so hyped up from just the voice, let alone actually seeing him. That the voice would just work, and that was it.
Yeah, because even that was again a short moment, at least it played a big part in the plot. Really, like
Yeah.
his is just like that whole courtroom stuff. You could easily cut out.
It's setting up the dilemma, basically.
You literally could cut that out and just have the news talk about it, saying there's like a court case going on there, them debating what to do with them, and then that could be it. And then like cut to them like you hearing the verdict of we're just letting them die. You didn't really need that sequence. Yeah, it would. I feel like it would have been really cool for the end when it obviously comes back at the end. He's speaking. That bit would have been cool. I feel like having him at the start would have been but I feel like don't put him in the trailer. Put him at the end talking, and everyone go, "What the fuck?" Like have everyone like jump out and say, "Oh, whoa!"
Yeah.
Like, or even in trailers, like a little hint at like maybe like a clip, like a voice clip of one of his old lines, like about chaos theory, and it make people go, "Wait, is Jeff in this movie?" And then at the end of the movie, he pops up and is like, "Welcome to Jurassic World." Everyone would be like, "Holy shit!" And that would have set him up to return for Dominion.
Because it would have worked so well as well. Because it's like if they on the trailer say the whole life phones away,
like,
whilst the volcano's blowing up or something.
A bit like how in the trailer for the new one at the start you hear John Hammond talking like that. Like if you just heard that, because then with that one you know straight away he's not going to be in it because obviously sadly he passed away. But if they put that in this trailer for this, and you had people be like, "Wait, is Jeff going to be in this movie?" Like people go, "Is he? Is he not?" And then obviously at the end of the movie, home pop up and everyone go, "Oh shit!" Then as I said, that would have been a better setup for him to return for the next movie. Like they could have got a call or something at the end after he said that. Like his phone buzzes and it comes up saying like I don't know, Alan or something. He's like, "What?" Like just to set up. Obviously they wouldn't have known at that point that they were going to do that because obviously different director now. Because obviously Trevor O, who did the last one, is coming back to the Dominion. So obviously
maybe have a call and not show who it is.
Yeah. Oh,
that way you could tease it.
I really hope this doesn't do a fucking new Star Wars because Force Awakens was JJ. Then the second one was obviously Rian Johnson, and then Colin Trevorrow, Jurassic World. The whole reason he stepped away from this franchise to do Star Wars, dropped out to come back to this. So JJ took over again. So the same director, 1 and 3, but different in the middle. I really hope they don't fuck up again like how Disney did with that. I really hope they don't fucking try and like retcon half the shit that they did in the second one just to make fans like rejoice for the third one. I don't think they will.
They just bring back Dudley as a big villain. He's there like, singing the
chorus. I never fucking died last time.
It's like a cloak.
It's just that all they do is reuse the scene from Basic Instinct when he sat there because he was in Basic Instinct watching fucking Sharon Stone did the fucking leg thing. There's that scene of him in the background going, But yeah, I just hope they don't fuck it up. I don't think they will because I feel like a lot of people would have learned from that mistake.
Oh yeah.
Plus they've had a lot more time because of COVID to do a lot of stuff. Because I mean, this was due out last year, the new one. But then obviously because of COVID, they had to film it all last year. I think they meant to film it in 2020. Then obviously it was meant to come out in 2021, but obviously they have to film in 2021 for 2022. So it obviously got delayed. So hopefully that was a good thing to make them put actual effort into making it good. But enough about Dominion. We're talking about Fallen Kingdom. I honestly think this is my favourite sequel. Honestly, obviously Jurassic World was my favourite sequel. Obviously, as my ranking was, it was obviously original Jurassic World 3 and 2. But honestly, I think this tops all of them for me, apart from the original. I really enjoy this movie. I enjoy it a lot more than most people do. I just like the fact that, yes, again, Jurassic World, it's just a fucking remake of Lost World. Just slightly updated to make it more modern, to make it slide under the radar, that it's not the exact same film again. But I prefer the antagonist dinosaur of this movie, the Indoraptor.
It's a lot more.
Though it's only a partial, just at the end, compared to like the Indominus, which was all the way through the Jurassic World, basically. The T-Rex, that was based, again, most of Jurassic Park and Lost World, and then obviously Spinosaurus was most of the way for Jurassic Park 3. This one's more of a build-up to it at the end, and I feel like it's worth the build-up, especially when they start teasing it. Obviously, the first shot, obviously, Maisie backing away, and you see the claw coming out. That's so fucking horror-esque. And then when they're doing the bidding, and you see like the lights flashing every now and again, you see the claw, you see the jaw, and then it comes out, and everyone's like, "Holy shit!" And then the satanic theme song they have over the top of it. I love the music for this movie because again, they do well at merging the normal Jurassic Park theme within this, but the soundtrack feels again very horror. definitely like edgiest scene. As I say, the Indoraptors theme song is just whoa. I like the fact, again, just like Indominus Rex, it's smart, which is instantly shown with Wheatley when he tries to take it, because his character trait of, I've got to get a tooth off a dinosaur because I'm making a necklace because no reason whatsoever.
I need reason to go into the cage and go to his mouth.
Yeah, and I know some people don't like the goofiness of that scene, but I like the idea of it just playing with his feet, like lifting its hand. He's like what?
It's
turning
so
around,
sinister,
and you see its eyes open, like, and you see that little cheeky smile. And it's like, and then he does it again, and obviously he sees it the second time and gets up. And I love the way he kills him by grabbing his arm, picking him off the ground. The shots of the practical face as it rips his arm off, and then it's that scene of him like face to face. Is this guy again? He's a hunter. He's like this badass, and yet he's cornered in this cage, like, whimpering like a child, like
the animals he hunts.
Yeah, exactly. And in the process, gets more to death. Yeah, a lot of it's like zoomed off screen. It's focused on then Toby Jones's character running away and getting into the lift. Obviously, you know what happens there. Cuts to black when he's in the lift after the Indo breaks the fucking lift door. Because I love that. I love everyone in the lift. It's like, thank fuck we're alive. And he turns around and then the fucking Indo's accidentally smashes the lift door, and it's like, oh, it's open there. And he's just like, oh shit. It's the toupee as well when it roars, because the air, his toupee's like flying behind him. He's like, oh! And I love that scene. It's so funny. That's what I like with this. Though it feels like a horror movie, there is still these funny moments that, obviously the Indoraptor obviously cheekily fucking moving its tail to just obviously tease the guy.
A lot of Chris Pratt scenes.
Yeah, the volcano scene when he's on the floor and he's trying to get him. He's obviously paralysed. He's there trying to shimmy over, and he's there like moving, like trying to do some like a yoga or Zumba type poses, to try and move. That is pretty funny. And obviously, yeah, but they got the very over the top scream from the male new character.
Oh, but he was genius.
The guy from Detective Pikachu. I don't know if he's in the new movie at all. I don't know if he's in Dominion. I know they're bringing back the guy from the first Jurassic World. No, Owen's friend, the one who helps me with the raptors, the bald one who was in Days of Future's Past. I know he's coming back, as far as I'm aware, but I don't know about this guy. Because as I say, there's a lot of characters coming back from this and the previous franchise, part of the franchise, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's just a lot I like about this. Obviously, the Carnotaurus is finally present. That's a big bonus for me. The Baryonyx, I believe it was. Obviously, that's there with like a really cool lava sequence, and it's like again flashing of like light as you see it coming through the tunnel. That's pretty cool. And then obviously the volcano erupting scene when obviously Chris Pratt's running the gyrosphere's going, and obviously all the dinosaurs are running. T-Rex obviously taking out the Carnotaurus. Everything's just going crazy. I love that moment. It's just a really cool sequence. So that's the thing. Yes, it feels like a lot of Sword again, but they've added this stake of no, they're not getting the dinosaurs. It's not a zoo or anything, or trying to get them from this place to a new zoo. It's this island's about to die. It's going to explode. The volcano's actually active now. We need to get these dinosaurs to a sanctuary, which I believe if you play Jurassic World, the first Evolution, the first game, that's a DLC, if I remember correctly. You can get Claire Sanctuary, like a new island, and build on it. And obviously that's the idea, but obviously it's all a lie, because they're going to sell them, like, the dinosaurs to actually the highest bidder. And obviously in the process, obviously most of the dinosaurs die, most of them get taken off, which obviously you get that really sad moment of the original dinosaur you get to see in the original JP movie, in the silhouette of the ash and the smoke clouds as it dies, which is quite sad, to be fair. Obviously, it's an OG dinosaur. Especially the standing moment. It's an OG shot.
It's literally the first dinosaur you see in Jurassic Park. It's the last dinosaur you see on that island.
Which I think that's quite really symbolic, to be fair.
It's fanatical.
I give them credit for that. They probably didn't mean to do it. It's probably just like, this is a bit cool. Let's do this. But obviously, it is quite, hats off, well done. Obviously, they got the other two random things. Obviously, BD Wong's back as Henry Wu.
Yeah.
So, like, just to, again, as the smallest of roles, but yet he's still like the biggest bad guy in the franchise.
Oh yeah.
And then you got fucking, what's his fucking name? Benjamin Lockwood, the silent partner to John Hammond that you've never heard of until now. That's like, oh yes, I also helped fund Jurassic Park all those years ago.
Yes, but we got annoyed because he wouldn't let me clone my daughter, so I did it anyways.
Exactly, because that's the thing with this one. That's the interesting thing. They had human cloning to the equation, which I think is quite cool. It's quite different.
It makes sense why she's the one at the end
who releases the dinosaurs before they die.
Because she's like them. She's like them.
They're alive, like her. Which I think that's a very, as I say, that's a very clever way of getting Dominion to set off.
Yeah.
Is the clone causes it, because she feels like if they die, it's equivalent if she dies. So that is pretty symbolic and pretty cool. What else? Obviously, the T-Rex takes a bit of a step back like he did in the last one. But I feel like he's present a bit, or he or she, whatever. I think they're all female, aren't they?
Most likely, that was the female one.
Yeah.
And that one's the original.
Yeah, I think they're all female. Most of them are female, and then some of them has become male as well. To breed, because we've got to have some more dinos.
Because it's the main island. I think.
Yeah,
it's the one T-Rex.
It's the female.
The female one.
It's the one from the last one, which has always got all the claw marks from when he got attacked by the Indominus, which is a good way of obviously keeping the continuality going. Because if it didn't have the claws, then you'd be like, what the fuck's this about? Because it clearly got attacked last time. So it makes sense why you'd have the marks, which does actually kind of make it badass, really. I mean, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, if you look at the back of the case here, you can see the white claw marks where it obviously got attacked in the last one. And obviously the cool thing is, well, obviously it puts a lot of focus again on Blue. Obviously the others are gone, but I do like the fact they do still talk about the others.
Yeah.
Because you get to see the footage of Chris Pratt training them when they're babies, and he's actually name dropping them like Delta, Echo, Charlie. He's actually going through them, and then he's like Blue, the main one. And I do like that's the main focus. I do like the fact as well. That's the main focus of the bad guys. They need Blue to make their Indoraptor more
empathetic and basically to follow
trainable.
orders.
Yeah, basically make him listen to them. Which obviously, as I say, needs they need a mom. So that they need the blood from her to make her more stable, essentially.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way of putting that. So I do like the fact that Blue's now a full-on main focus, because she wasn't really in the last one, was she? She was and wasn't. It was more Indominus. That was the main focus of this is the new dinosaur. The Raptors were just like a side plot, whereas this is actually a full focus.
Blue was basically Chris Pratt's plot.
Yeah.
Not the main full.
Whereas this time, she's basically kind of the main plot. She's the main reason they want. Well, one of the main reasons they want to get to the island, but she's kind of the major reason. So they can build so obviously Henry can build the Indoraptor again. So not the prototype we see in the movie, like an actual one, which would do as commanded. What else we got? We do get to see a lot more dinosaur species, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You get to see a lot of ones you've seen before and a lot of ones you haven't seen before. That's what I always like with the Jurassic franchise, is that each movie as they go along, they always throw in dinosaurs you haven't seen yet. Yeah, they're throwing these made up ones in there just to up the ante, but there's still throwing in dinosaurs that you haven't seen yet. Carnotaurus, I haven't really got to see that yet, so they threw that in. Baryonyx again, there's probably a couple of others here and there that you're yet to see that they're thrown in just to obviously up the ante a bit more. But yeah, I think I still think it's a pretty solid movie.
I agree. Definitely. I mean, like, there's been quite clever, a lot of clever shots. Like, specifically, when we first get to the island, you see all ruined and stuff. All the figurines. And you see one there, and it turns out it's not a figure, it's a company. Yeah. There's some clever shots that go. You can tell it's definitely a horror actor. Director, yeah.
Yeah, obviously the ruined situation, obviously it's a good way of showing how the island's turned since then. So obviously the first shot of the island, you get to the the thingy centre, the big visitor centre. Yeah, that's it. You get to see that, and it's kind of bad.
The irony of its nature taking over.
Yeah, and then you get to see obviously all the actual shops and everything, all the damage that was caused from last time, which is pretty cool. And obviously then everything just kicks off with the bad guys being revealed and whatnot, which is kind of obvious. As soon as you see the Wheatley, you're like, yeah, this guy's a bad guy. As soon as you see, fucking, what's his name? Eli. As soon as you see him, you're like, yeah, this guy's a bad guy. He's basically the lawyer from the second one, but worse. Because the lawyer in the second one was more of, I want to make a zoo for money, whereas he's more like, I want to make fucking money by selling these dinosaurs to bad people, which he does. He literally fucking has like an auction, which is something a bit different we haven't seen yet. Obviously, them selling the dinosaurs to the highest bidders, and he's making millions and millions. And then he brings out the fucking Indoraptor, and it's like, it's the prototype, not for sale. And like, instantly someone's like, 25 millions.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bidding war, and he's like, oh, it's not for sale. And it's going up and up. And then fucking... So I do like with that as well, you see Henry Wu, like, when they're like, it's not for sale, and he's like, good, yeah. And then fucking, obviously, Eli just looks up at, obviously Toby Jones' character, the auctioneer, is like, sell him? And then fucking Henry's just like, what are you doing? And there's that whole argument between them, like, oh, look how much this is going for right now. We can make more. And obviously, I love Henry's quote of, so can they. Probably can't, because they're probably not as smart as he is.
They do kind of need the technology to clone people. But...
Which, obviously, InGens and these villains are the only ones who really have. So I don't think they can really clone them. But obviously, I do like that idea of him having that fear in his mind of, we sell this now, we're not going to be able to sell them in the future because of this. I do like that. I don't think what else here. I feel like it's a good build-up to obviously going back to the island, because obviously you get the opening sequence, and then there's the build-up of explaining everything, what's happened since. Obviously, it even explains how much it's cost InGen and the Masrani Corporation for the disaster. It's cost them, like, I think it's like over 100 million or something stupid like that. It was ridiculous amount. I think it's like 800 million or something stupid like that. It cost them that much because all the people injured, all the casualties, the damages, it cost them so much money because of the disaster. And I do like the fact that that's like the world's talking topic now is Jurassic World. Like, everyone's talking about it. So it shows the BBC News talking about it. It shows you a lot of news stations referring to the disaster. And I like that it's brought a focus, because the old ones never really did.
Yeah, it's really thought. Because
even if you look at the second one when it happened in the city at the end, the third one doesn't really reference that.
They did it once. When I was like, we trying to answer a question. No, I was not in the disaster. That's literally all.
But I mean, they never really like focus like on news, like an actual talking point of the population, not just like the main character.
This is more like a speculation.
This is like this is the first time they've actually put full focus on the attacks, which is a change of pace. It's pretty cool.
I think it's because it's more worldwide. Because Jurassic World was an open park.
Yeah.
But Jurassic Park was more closed up and only rumours probably.
And then obviously with what happened in Lost World, it's obviously just got loose in the city. It wasn't as if it was people were paying to go to this island and then this happened. Like, that was meant to be a controlled environment, and it wasn't. So I feel like that's the idea with that, is the fact that a lot of people went there because of dinosaurs. Yeah,
because basically the world's eyes were already on Jurassic World.
Because it being a dinosaur park.
Yeah, with Jurassic Park, it more came out of the blue. Often people could be.
So like, no one really knew about it. No one really knew about it because it wasn't open to the population.
Yeah.
No one was really acknowledged that it was real.
Like the T-Rex in like Chicago could be like
San Francisco.
Where's Chicago?
San Francisco.
T-Rex in San Francisco.
So, no one believes it.
They could be like dismiss it as like a rumor.
Yeah, because I mean, even though there's the kid in that one, when he's like, there's a dinosaur in our backyard, and they're like, a couple is arguing like, it's because the nightlight. It's that goddamn fish. Gotta turn it off. And then turn it off and look out the window, and he roars, and just like, oh shit, you were telling the truth. Like that idea. Whereas this is everything was on it. The cameras were on it. Everything was focused heavily on it. So it's cool that there's actually that's the major talking point of this. It's not something that's just brushed away. It's an actual full-on focus at the start of the movie. And then obviously everything gets loose at the end, and you get to see obviously the dinosaurs running free, T-Rex breaking into the zoo to confront a lion, the Mosasaurus eating surfers, Blue's like in like a suburb, which is like the last shot of the movie, which is pretty cool because usually, as I said, it's usually a T-Rex is the last shot, but it's not. Blue's the last shot, roaring. Well, caw, caw, that thing. And then you got the end credit scene of obviously a pterosaur in Vegas. Whoa! Obviously on the Eiffel Tower, because I love that. It's the shot of it landing on the Eiffel Tower. You're like, shit, it's made it to France. And it's like, oh no, it's Vegas. It's like Family Guy when Peter lands on his parachute fails, and he fucking lands straight on the Eiffel Tower. He's like, oh cool, I'm in France. And he's like, hey, look at that douchebag up there. Oh no, I'm in Vegas. Like that. It's basically like that. But yeah, obviously in this one as well, you got the battle of Blue and the Indo, which is a bit more of an even fight. Obviously the Indo's big, but Blue is not massive compared to the Indominus, just to Blue. Because the Indominus took a T-Rex and a Mosasaurus to help take down, whereas this didn't. It just took Blue. Took Blue and obviously the humans, which is obviously pretty cool. Because obviously it's like a huge fight. You got the darkness outside to make it all horror-esque. The rain, the thunder to make it even more creepy. And it's like the full-on. Most of the fight itself, after obviously the inside battle, is just obviously Owen versus this thing, and obviously Claire helping, and then Blue comes in to basically finish the job and kill the bastard.
It's good to see the humans getting involved as well. Yeah,
because last time, Owen got involved in the start of the fight, but he fucked off pretty quickly. Yeah. Whereas this time it's fully chasing
right
him.
At the end of Jurassic World, it's just the T-Rex and the Rat and Blue dealing with the Rex, Indominus Rex, but while they're all just
cowering and watching.
Whereas
this
time,
they know what's going on. They want to get involved because you gotta get Chris Pratt being a badass again, like that one shot in the auction house with that one take going across as he's punching his way, fucking full on, just wiping everyone out, which I thought was a really cool shot. This movie's just full of really good shots, which is probably why I like it a lot more. It just looks so fucking good. CGI looks really good again. It's not just like Jurassic World. It's probably the best instance of CGI in this franchise.
Right, definitely.
There's a lot more practicals this time compared to the last one. Obviously, the T-Rex head, that whole scene in the trailer when they're getting the blood for Blue. The head's all practical, which is pretty cool. The Indoraptor, a lot of those shots as well are practical. You got some practical shots of Blue. The Stegosaurus, when you see that was practical.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. They do use a lot more this time than they did last time. So last time it was just full on CGI with only a couple of instances of practical. Whereas this time they're like, okay, no, this actually makes what made the franchise great. The practical effects. Everyone loved the effects in the old ones. Just bring them back. So well done for doing that, because they again look fucking realistic. Look really fucking good. I think of what else. Obviously, again, you got some new characters in this one.
Yeah.
Obviously, your villains, and you got your good characters.
The comic relief guy.
The comic relief guy was in Detective Pikachu, and obviously the vet. Obviously, he was there just mainly for the transfusion between Blue and the T-Rex. Yeah. That's literally her whole role in this movie. There's nothing more to that character than I'm just a vet, basically.
And sarcastic remarks.
Basically, that's what she's got going for is the sarcastic remarks. There's that whole thing where she's taking the piss out of Wheatley, and he shuts the door and he's like, "That's a nasty woman." Coming from the guy who's kidnapped her and everything, and she's got every right to be an arsehole to him, and he's just really shocked she's so vile to him. He's like, "That's one nasty woman."
Oh.
But yeah, and also you got, as I say, Maisie the clone, who's just this sort of another kid character. Nothing more. The only thing she got going for her really is the clone. That's the main thing. She's just basically the exact same as all the other ones. It's get involved, run away screaming. Nothing more to her than that.
It's the same, but she's British.
Yeah, there's nothing more. There's nothing more to her than she's just a basic kid character like the rest of them. Literally, the only thing that's oh wow, is this the idea of, oh, she's a clone. That's the one thing she's got heavily going for her compared to all the other kid characters. So that's all you can really say about her. And obviously the thing with this one as well, you got the fucking John Hammond cane smashing. Something that's been the franchise since the beginning. And when obviously Lockwood gets suffocated by obviously Eli, fucking the cane smashes on the floor, which is pretty symbolic to say the park's over now. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. That's basically that's symbolising heavily that the park's done. It's now Jurassic World.
Yeah.
They probably didn't think that. It's probably just me
Just-
overthinking the
Yeah.
situation because I overthink stuff, and they probably overthought that and made it really good. And then they're gonna go, you know what? That guy's got something going here. I'm gonna steal that idea and pretend I did it.
Stamp.
Yeah,
I create that idea.
exactly. But this is dated on the day of Jurassic World's release. So fucking, I said this first before they say anything. But if they've already said it, well, I didn't know that. That was just an accident. They probably already have. That was an accident on my behalf. But if they haven't said it, I'm stamping this. I've said it first. Oh, fucking hell.
What else? There's something you called. I remember you called something before, and it actually happened. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I call a lot of stuff.
Mm.
I'm just that good at calling stuff before it happens. I can't think of anything else. I think I covered most of this movie. All the big talking points is explain everything. There's nothing else you can really say. Except everyone is going to die now. Because dinosaurs are free. And everyone's fucked. I mean, Blue's off by himself now. Which he's going to end quickly because he's going to come back to Chris Pratt and go, hey Chris, I got myself a baby dinosaur with me. But yeah, I feel like that basically covers everything. So I feel like it's time to start just rating it. Pretty simple. If I said it's my favourite of one, it's gonna be a 9 out of 10, which is obviously a golden egg, because it's gotta be. Because I mean, I got Jurassic World a 9, and if this is my favourite one, it's gonna be a 9. It's not a 10. I wouldn't give any of anything past the first one a 10, but it's definitely fucking all the way up there for me.
I agree. 9 out of 10. I would give it a 10 if Jeff Goldblum was in it for the entire thing, but since he's not, then in cameo gets a 9.
I feel like you might end up giving Dominion like a 10 just because of
Jeff's
in it.
Because he's in it. If he dies, it's getting a 0. But
no, we all know who's dying in that movie. Cough, cough, Alan Grant.
No, it's gonna be Chris Pratt, right?
Probably. Gotta kill the new blood. Okay. What else? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Then it gives it the Chat Cave overall rating of 9 out of 10. Golden all around.
Yes.
Golden.
See?
Plays a dragon and they're not a dinosaur.
Oh. True, but well.
Okay, MVP. Ooh.
Blue again.
Blue again?
Yeah. She was great in this. She's the one that defeated the raptor.
I want to give it to the Indoraptor itself.
Really?
Just because it probably looks the most sinister of any fucking dinosaur in this franchise. It's like the devil incarnate. It is generally like, I mean, you saw it instantly when he got knocked into the glass on the roof. It clawed its way back up. Like it's got that. Its arms are actually fucking usable, and it literally like limbed its way up. If it wasn't for Blue knocking him off, they would have been fucked.
That's the thing, though. Blue still won.
Yeah, but there's something sinister about that motherfucker that makes me go, that motherfucker got it. It's a debate now between.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I still think Blue did great. Like I said, in the end, she won.
Yeah, but the Indoraptor is like so sinister.
And to make the Indoraptor better, they need Blue. Blue's important to the entire story. Plus, Indoraptor's only in it for a certain part.
Yeah, but that shows how good it is. Like the fact it drew me in straight away when it's only in the end.
You're just horny for like
the music.
Music, really.
Because the music's the music fucking works for it. It sounds literally like the devil. He's opening the gates to hell and coming out to Earth. Which is fucking weird for a Jurassic Park movie, but it so fucking fits. We could debate this all fucking night, couldn't we?
We can, yeah.
Fucking hell. This is the first time we've really split.
How about this then? We both have our own.
We can't. We've got to do it joint. It's like a joint situation. We can't do that. No, for the first time ever, it's going to be split down the middle on the MVP. We'll give the MVP to both Blue and the Indoraptor. It's a split straight down the middle. They both deserve it. One for like being a cool fucking character again, and one for stealing the show with like such like half an hour if that. So we'll split it between them. They both get a chunk of the MVP award this time.
Like runner up, Franklin. Just for the scream.
Just for the scream.
Oh, he was funny every time he was on. Like there was not a time when he wasn't on there.
I don't know.
He wasn't funny.
I don't know really. Who would like give that to? To give it to the fucking Oh, it's fucking. What species of dinosaur is it? The fucking one that stands up in the smoke.
I think that was a Brachiosaurus.
Give it to that just for a salute to say goodbye. I feel like we should just give it to the Brachiosaurus for the dedication to this franchise. It was the first dino we saw. It was the last one on the island. So, or you can give it to Jeff just for like showing up and like making you want more Jeff.
Jeff.
You want to give it to Jeff?
Matic? Jeff.
Jeff for making you want more Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll give it to Jeff then.
I give Jeff 10 goldblums out of possible 10 goldblums.
Okay, favourite scene. I'm instantly... There's so many fucking good moments in this that I would want to give it to, like the shot wise. But I'm going to give it to the roof scene when obviously Maisie hides in the bed and it puts outside and the music's hitting, the rain's coming down, and you see the claw come up of the window as it climbs on top of the fucking roof and then roars with that fucking theme over the background. That whole sequence, that whole shot of it roaring at the night is so fucking horror that if I didn't give it to that, I would just have to throw myself out the window because it screams me.
I think for me, it's got to be when Blue knocks.
And the spiraling.
Yeah, spiral down and then
straight into the Triceratops.
And she stands onto the top skull and roar. First time we get to see a raptor doing the
T-Rex.
I just fucking run.
The iconic T-Rex sort of moment.
Which deserves that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you did something else as well. I did something else last time as well. I can't fucking remember what I did. No, that was the other. So I have that many fucking review shows. I'm fucking getting confused with which fucking one I've put like a new part in. I don't think I had anything else to this. If I did, fuck it, I'm just taking. I throw stuff in and out every now and again. So if there's a segment I've missed. Oh, ranking. There we go. It's pretty simple with me. In second place, so it'd be Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic Park 2. Yours is currently Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3. Where you putting Fallen Kingdom?
Above Jurassic World.
So in third.
Above the original, the third, yeah. But because Last
World had Jeff.
So it's got more Jeff. Again,
Horny for Jeff.
Fanatical or Jeff? I'm going for Jeff.
Horny for Jeff. Okay. Oh, I do have a question. I know it's the Hayden show where I throw out the question. Obviously, I usually just say, if there's any questions or anything you want to talk about, put them in the comments below. But I'm going to say now, obviously, what are you looking forward to most in Jurassic World Dominion?
Jeff.
I probably already said this question last time as well.
About Jeff.
Well, I thought I'd throw it out here anyway as well. Like, how hyped are you? I think last time I said how hyped are you for it. So I don't know.
Again, I probably said Jeff. just
yeah. So yeah, any questions on that in the comments below as always. Your thoughts on Fallen Kingdom? If you enjoyed it, if you hated it, where you'd put it within the rankings of this franchise. We're gonna try, fingers crossed, to do Dominion. Obviously, a spoiler podcast of that. Might also try a spoiler-free review, depending on if we remember much. Because obviously, it's out the 10th. We're gonna watch it on the 10th. We'll try and record it the day after. So hopefully, we remember enough to do it. If not, then we just have to wait for it to come out on 4K to redo it then. But we'll try. Fingers crossed it will happen, but we'll try at least to get Dominion done pretty much around the time of release to give our opinions on it. But obviously, before that, we are going to take a look at in a more smaller review. So basically, bringing back Hatchling review for the first time in ages. That is still a thing. It's just we're meant to do it alongside the podcast, like a spoiler-free one, but we're too lazy to do a spoiler-free one. We just want to talk spoilers. So we're going to try and do the short film they released not just after, it's like quite a few weeks or months after this came out, which is obviously Battle of the Big Rock, which obviously is set moments after they get out at the end of this movie, the dinosaurs, and focus obviously on a family getting attacked by the dinosaurs. So we're going to do basically a short review on that before obviously Dominion. So before Dominion, technically a day after Dominion, but we're gonna get it out around the same point, and then again we're gonna hopefully try and get Dominion out either the following week or it'll either be the Friday or might probably in a bit early just because
why not
get it out early and quickly and get our opinions out quick. But we'll see. I'm always fucking weird. I change my mind every 5 minutes of what I want to do. I definitely do want to try and get Dominion done as soon as it's come out. So we're not having to fucking try and fit it in down the line. That it's always annoying when you've got another franchise going, you're trying to fucking cram it in. But yeah, either way, that is that. Yes, that is that. So we hope you enjoyed our spoiler review of Fallen Kingdom. And we shall see you next time.
Bye.